This week, I'm going to lead you through a slow flow variation of the Moon Salutation. Moon Salutation is a standing flow, so this practice will be great for strengthening the legs, also for opening the side body. Let's get started. For this week's practice, I have a couple of blocks with me, one at each end of the mat. So you could have some blocks there as well if you want to use them under hands. And also I would recommend turning the long side of the mat towards the screen so it's easier to follow the practice. And then when you have all that set up, we're going to start in a seated pose. So now you could find a cross-legged seat, or you could also sit on your knees, wherever you feel comfortable for a few minutes seat as our starting pose. You could bring your hands resting on your knees or on your lap, and just take a few slightly slower breaths in and out first. If you want, you can close your eyes. That might help you to turn your awareness inwards. Just allowing yourself a moment to arrive onto the mat, into your practice. Allow your shoulders to soften away from the ears. And let your breath slide down towards the ribs, maybe all the way down towards the belly. And take a couple more breaths in and out. Allow your neck to stay soft, head just resting on top of the spine. You might also turn your head a couple of times from side to side. You might roll the shoulders a couple of times. And then you can still keep your eyes closed if you want, or you might open your eyes. We're going to bring arms down next to the sides. And then as you inhale, lengthen arms overhead. Just gently reaching up through both arms, lengthening up through the spine. And as you exhale, bring arms back down. Keeping shoulders soft. We'll do this another 2 rounds. As you inhale, lengthen up. You might even look up if that feels good. And exhale, bring arms down, still keeping your spine long. One more time. With your in-breath, arms lengthening up, spine lengthening up. And with the out-breath, hands and arms come down. And then if you are sitting on your knees, you might change into a cross-legged seat at this point. We're going to walk left hand out to the left side, just where you feel comfortable, leaning on to your left hand. As you inhale, lift up through the right arm, and then exhale, bend over to your left. You might bend your left elbow more. You might even bring your left elbow onto the mat. Take another breath here. Breathe towards that right side. Then with the next in-breath, lift yourself back up and lower your right hand on the mat and walk the right hand a bit further out. Again, leaning on to the right hand. Inhale, lift up through the left arm, and exhale, bend over to your right. Again, maybe bending the right elbow, or you might even bring right elbow onto the mat. No need to push any deeper than what feels good now in the beginning of the practice. Check that you can still breathe. Take another breath in and out. And then as you inhale, lift back up. Exhale, release the left hand and left arm down. Just roll the shoulders gently. And then turn on to all fours. So bring yourself onto hands and knees. Bring your hands roughly under your shoulders, knees roughly under the hips. And you can either relax your toes or you might tuck your toes under. Which one feels better now? We'll do a few cat-cows. We're going to exhale, round the back. You can bring chin towards the chest. And then with your next in-breath, open your chest. Find a gentle back bend. You might look forward if that feels good. Again, as you exhale, round your spine. You might tuck the tail under. Gently push the floor away through your arms. And as you inhale, open the chest. Find that subtle back bend. You might turn tailbone up. Again, with the exhalation, rounding the spine. Allowing head to move together with your spine. And inhale, open the chest. And now we'll reverse the breath. So we're going to stay in this back bend. Exhale. And then as you inhale, round the spine. So moving into that cat pose as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, finding that cow back bend. Opening the chest. Another 2 rounds again with the in-breath, rounding the spine. You could send your breath towards the back. Let the breath help you to round the back. And exhale, release the spine into a back bend. And just notice if the movement feels different as you reverse the breath. One more time, inhaling into that rounded cat shape. Again, you might tuck the tail under, bring chin towards the chest. And then one more back bend, exhaling into that cow pose. And then find a neutral spine. You might adjust your hands if needed. Tuck your toes under. And with the next breath, lift your pelvis up. Find a brief downward facing dog. Just testing the weight on your feet. You could walk from one foot to the other a few times. Shake the head, releasing the neck. Also just notice how it feels to be upside down. Take another breath here, in and out. And then walk your hands and feet together. Maybe walking feet forward or walking hands to your feet. And now you could bring a block under your hands, somewhere in front of you if you want. Or if it's easy to reach hands on the floor, you can keep hands on the mat as well. We're going to leave left hand on the mat or on a block. And then bend the left knee, extend the right knee more. And as you inhale, circle the right arm up, twisting to the right. You might follow the hand with your gaze. And as you exhale, circle the right arm back down. Bring right hand on the mat or on a block. Bend your right knee, extend the left leg more. And then inhale, reach your left arm up, twisting to the left. Again, you might look to your hand and exhale, circle the left arm down. Once more to both sides. Left hand stays down, bending the left knee. Inhale, circling the right arm up. So twisting to the right. And exhale, circling the arm down. Right hand on the mat or on a block. Right knee bent. And inhale once more, circle the left arm up, opening the chest, and exhale, circle the left arm down. Find that forward bend, head can drop down, bend your knees, and then as you inhale, start to roll the back up, lifting up through the belly, lifting up through the chest, slowly finding your mountain pose. You could roll the shoulders, open the chest. And then we're going to move into the Moon Salutation. And for this, turn towards the long side of the mat. And again, you can check you have one block at each end of the mat if you like using blocks under the hands. We're going to do 2 rounds and we're going to take our time. So we're going to spend a bit more time in each pose. Now for the first half moon side bend, you can either bring your feet together or you could leave your feet roughly hip width apart. Bring arms down your sides and just press down through the feet. Feel that lifting up through the inner feet, through the inner thighs, to the pelvis, to the spine, grounding down. Breathe here in and out. And then as you inhale, lengthen up through your arms. Now take hold of your left wrist with the right hand. Another breath in to lift up and press down through the feet. Exhale, bend to your right. Pelvis might lean slightly to left. So you're finding that crescent moon, half moon shape. Still keeping the chest open. Allow your neck, your head to move into that side bend. And breathing here. Grounding down, especially through that left foot. Take another breath in and out in your side bend. And then with the next in-breath, lifting up. Exhale, release the arms, release the shoulders. And we'll go to the other side. Inhale, lengthen up through the arms. Press down through the feet. Hold your right wrist with the left hand. Take another breath to lift up. And then exhale, bend to your left. Now pelvis might lean slightly to your right. And breathe, especially towards that right side body. A bit like breathing towards the right armpit. Breathing towards the ribs on the right hand side. Softening the tops of the shoulders. And then with your next in-breath, lifting up. And exhale, release the arms. Now step your feet wider apart. Rotate your hips, your feet open. As you inhale, press down through the feet. Extend your legs, lift your arms up. Exhale, bend the knees, open arms into the goddess pose or the open horse pose, bending the knees. Same again. As you inhale, lift yourself up, pressing down through the feet, arms reaching up. Exhale, bend the knees. Just find how far down you want to go. We'll do one more round. Inhale, pressing down through the feet, reaching up through the arms. And exhale one more time, bend the knees. And now we're going to stay here just a bit longer. Keep your chest open and just very gently draw the shoulder blades towards each other. Breathing towards the chest, keeping the hips rotated open. Both feet firmly on the mat. And then as you inhale, extend the legs, reach the arms up. And now as you exhale, open your arms and then rotate your right foot, right hip in, and maybe open your left hip and foot slightly more for a triangle pose. Left knee could be slightly bent, or you can extend your left leg. Inhale, reach the arms out, feet pressing down. Exhale, tilt your pelvis so that you can reach your left hand down, maybe on the inside of your left leg, or you could bring the block under your left hand here, opening through the chest, reaching up through the right arm. If having the right arm up doesn't feel good in the shoulder, you can always bring that right arm down behind the back, opening through the chest. Now there might be some opening along the right side body. Maybe there's some side bending going on in your spine. You don't need to keep your back straight. You might lean into a gentle side bend. You might look down to the mat if that feels better in the neck. Feet pressing down, grounding down. Take another breath here, in and out. And then as you exhale, start to close your chest. Bring hands down, close to that left foot. And then close your right hip. You might need to adjust where your right foot is so that we could lean into An intense side stretch, forward bend over that left leg. So hands or fingertips could be on the mat, or if you have a block there, you could also use a block under the hands. The left leg could be extended or bent, and right heel might be still off the mat, so don't feel that you need to press the right heel down. Allow your neck to release. So you're folding over that left leg. Take another couple of breaths in and out. The front of the leg still active. And then slowly, as you inhale, lift yourself halfway up into a flat back. Maybe a block under the hands. And we're going to slowly rotate towards the long side of the mat, walking into a wide-legged forward bend. And once you're there, as you exhale, fold forward again. You could bring a block with you. Maybe have a block under the hands here. Feel free to move the feet so you find a safe place for your full forward bend. Take another breath in and out here. And then we're going to travel towards the right foot. So now from your wide-legged forward bend, start to walk your hands towards the right foot, and we're going to turn the feet so that we are now turned to the other short end of the mat. And we find ourselves in that one-legged intense side stretch, leaning over the right leg. And you could take a breath in, open the chest a bit, and then exhale, lean back down into that forward bend. Again, you might bring a block under the hands. The right knee could be bent, or you might start to extend the right leg more. See what feels good on this side. Keeping the neck soft. Take another breath here, in and out. And then we start to move towards the triangle pose from here. So now we're going to first open the chest, come into a small flat back so that we have space to bend the right knee a bit more and rotate the left hip, left foot slightly open. You could have a block under the right hand, or again, maybe right hand on the inside of the right leg. We're going to inhale, open the chest out to the long side of the mat and either reach the left arm up, or you could bring your left arm behind the back, but lift yourself away from the mat. So we're not collapsed on the right arm, not collapsed over that right leg, but actually lifting away from the mat. Maybe on this side you choose a different variation for your arms. You might look down to the mat as well. Again, if your neck starts to feel tense, feel that support coming through your feet to your legs. Still breathing. Again, there might be some side bending going on. Take another breath here, in and out. And then slowly, as you exhale, look down to the mat. Bend your right knee slightly, and as you inhale, lift yourself up. Exhale, release the arms. You can close your feet. Turn your both feet toes towards the long side of the mat. And now keep your legs wide apart, feet parallel. Inhale, lengthen up through the arms. Take hold of your left wrist with the right hand, and exhale, lean into a side bend over to your right. Pressing down through the left foot. Breathe in and out. And then as you inhale, lifting up, and exhale, release the arms. same to the other side. Inhale, lengthen up through the arms, press down through the feet. Take hold of your right wrist with the left hand. And inhale, exhale, leading to your left, so you're opening through the right side body. Again, keeping neck in line with the spine, so head can lean into that side bend as well. Tops of the shoulders away from the ears. And then with your next in-breath, lifting up. Exhale, release the arms. You can roll the shoulders and then heel toe, walk your feet closer together. And take a couple of breaths in your mountain pose. Take one more breath in and out. And then we're going to go on to the next round, and we're going to add some more lunges and side bends this time round. So now, with your next in-breath, lengthen arms up. Take hold of your right wrist with the left hand. And then inhale, exhale. You're leaning into that half moon, crescent moon side bend. Opening through the chest. Take another breath here, in and out. This second time round, you might find yourself going a bit deeper. And inhale, lifting up to center. Exhale, release the arms. Same to the other side. Inhale, lengthening up. Now hold your left wrist with the right hand. And then with the next breath, leaning over to your right. You can take a couple of breaths here, and maybe you're going a bit further into that side bend. And then as you inhale, slowly lifting back up. Exhale, open the arms. And step your feet wider apart. Rotate your hips, your feet open, ready for that open horse, the goddess pose. As you inhale, press down through the feet, lengthen arms up. Exhale, bend your knees and open the arms into that cactus shape. You can find your edge, your depth in that pose. Inhale, extend the legs, pressing down through the feet, reaching up through the arms. Exhale again, bend the knees. Soften tops of the shoulders. Inhale, lifting up, pressing down through the feet. And then one more time. Exhale, bend the knees, open the arms. And again, we pause here for a few breaths. Think about drawing your shoulder blades towards each other so your upper back is active. Actively rotating your hips open. And still breathing. Take another breath here, in and out. Shaking in the legs is very fine. It means they are working. And then as you inhale, lift yourself up, reach up through the arms. Exhale, now open arms into that T shape. And then we're going to close the left hip. Rotate the right hip, maybe slightly more open. And we're going to go into that triangle pose. You can slightly bend the right knee if you want. Inhale, reach forward or over that right leg, through that right arm. And then exhale, tilting down. And same options for the arms, or maybe choosing a different one here. So you could hover your hand on the inside of your right leg, or you could bring the block under that right hand. This time, if you want, you could lengthen your left arm overhead. Make the pose just a bit stronger, a bit more challenging for your core, for your back. But it might also open that left side more. Take another breath here, in and out. And then as you inhale, reach that left arm back up. And exhale, close your chest. Bring both hands to the mat. And now we're going to go into a runner's lunge. So just slide your left foot bit further back, so your right heel is under your right knee. And then as you exhale, bring your left knee down. You could release the left foot toes. We're going to step both hands on the inside of that right foot and either stay here on your hands or exhale, lower down onto elbows. If that feels too intense in your hips or maybe in the knees, don't push it. You can stay on your hands. Take another breath in and out. Just opening that line from your left leg all the way to your right leg. And then if you are down on your elbows, inhale, lift up onto your hands. And now we're going to tuck the left foot toes under, lift back into that runner's lunge, that higher lunge. As you inhale, lift your back, lift your arms up. And we're going to take hold of that left wrist again with the right hand. As you inhale, lift up through the back. Exhale, bend over to your right. You might even slightly rotate your chest away from the left leg. So you're opening from that line or through that line from your left leg all the way to that left arm. Softening the shoulders. Take another breath here, in and out. And then as you exhale, release the side bend. Bring your hands onto the mat. And we're going to transition into that wide-legged forward bend. So turn your toes towards the long side of the mat. You can bring a block under your hands. We're going to inhale, extend the back halfway up. And then exhale, bend down into a full forward bend again. Maybe hands stay on the block, maybe hands come down onto the mat. A couple of breaths here, in and out. Maybe going a bit further into that forward bend as we are going through the second round, but not forcing. So just find your edge. Take one more breath here, in and out. And then we're going to walk towards that left foot. So slowly start to walk hands towards the left foot, going into those lunges. So first, bending the left knee, finding that runner's lunge. Left knee roughly on top of the left heel. You can slide your right foot a bit further back. And from here, we're going to bring the right knee onto the mat. And we're going to step both hands on the inside of that left foot. And again, you can choose to stay here on your hands. Or as you exhale, you can come down onto elbows if that feels good. And this side might be different. And breathe in and out. Try to soften the neck as much as possible. Take one more breath here, in and out. And then, if you're down on your elbows, lift up onto your hands and tuck the the right foot toes under so that you could lift up onto your left foot. Lift the right knee off the mat. And we're going to inhale, find that high lunge, lifting up through the back, lifting up through the arms. And then we're going to take hold of the right wrist with the left hand. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, side bend to your left. Maybe twisting slightly towards the left. Opening from the front of the right leg all the way to your right arm. And breathing. Take another breath here, in and out. And then as you exhale, slowly release the side bend. Again, bring hands onto the mat. And we're going to go into our triangle here. So we'll need to bring the right foot a bit closer. Step the right foot on the mat. And then either left hand on the inside of the left leg or bring a block under the left hand. We're going to inhale, turn chest out to the right. And you could have your right arm reaching up. You can bring right arm behind the back. Or if you want the extra challenge, exhale, lengthen right arm overhead. The left knee could be bent or extended. And breathe here in and out. You might look down towards the mat, keeping the chest open. And then as you inhale, reach up through the right arm. Lift yourself all the way up. And exhale, release the hands and arms down. Close your feet so you're turning both feet toes towards the long side of the mat. Our last side bends. Inhale, lift up through the arms. Take hold of your left wrist with the right hand and exhale, bend to your right. Breathe here in and out. And then inhale, lifting up. Exhale, release the arms. And one more time, inhale, lengthen up through the arms. Take hold of your right wrist with the left hand and inhale, exhale, one more side bend, opening the right side body. And then inhale, lifting up, exhale, release the arms down. Again, you could heel toe your feet together and just bring hands onto your lower belly. And take a few breaths here in and out. Let the weight sink down through your heels. Feel the pelvis resting on top of your feet. Spine resting on top of the pelvis. And then with your next couple of breaths, you could release your hands, release the arms, and then bring yourself to lie down on the back. Any easy way you can bring yourself onto the back, and we don't need the props, we don't need the blocks for this, so you can move them aside and just bring your knees into a bent shape. Allow your head to lean onto the mat and take a couple of breaths here in and out. We have one more pose for the legs. We're going to go into the bridge pose. And we'll bring arms down next to the sides. If needed, you can still adjust your feet, so feet can be mobile. So we find a place for the feet where your pelvis, your hips, your knees are happy. Let's take one more breath here. And then as you exhale, press down through the feet, lift the pelvis, lift the back off the mat. And if you want, you can walk shoulder blades closer together, bring hands together under the pelvis, under the back. And you might still adjust your feet. I find often just walking the feet a bit further away from the pelvis once I've lifted up, just to find a nice angle for the knees. So you feel you can engage from feet through your inner legs, through the backs of the legs, through the buttocks, into the spine. You might even press down through the backs of the arms or shoulders. Take another breath or two in and out here. And then slowly, as you exhale, start to release the pose, release the arms, bring your back, bring your pelvis down. And just a few times, swing your knees from side to side. You bring arms overhead if you want, or out to the sides. And then we're going to go into a full twist. First side, bring your both legs to the left side of the mat, opening or leaving your chest open up towards the ceiling. And find a place for the arms. Is it shoulder height? Is it higher up? Or maybe you want to bring your arms down next to the sides. Especially if you feel that all those side bends we've done in the practice has gone to your shoulders too much, then feel free to bring your arms down. It might be a nice rest, nice relief for your shoulders. Take a couple of breaths here, in and out. And just notice how that right side body feels now after all the side bends we've done. And then slowly, with your next couple of breaths, roll down onto your back. You can adjust your arms if needed. And then we're going to go into that twist on the other side. So now bring your both legs to your right side, and maybe the arms are in a different place on this side. Arms could be in an asymmetrical place. Maybe one arm is up, one arm is lower down. So it's a twist for the spine, but you might find some opening still along the left side body as well. Again, just notice how the left side feels. And if shoulders are tired, bring arms lower down. Release the neck, release your jaw. Check that you're not biting teeth together. Take another breath or two in and out here. And then slowly roll down onto your back. So release the twist. And then we're going to lift the feet up into the air. Now you could take hold of your thighs, or the backs of the thighs, or maybe backs of the knees. Just for a moment, lift your feet up into the air. You might even gently circle or flex and point your ankles, your feet. You might give your legs a gentle shake. We've done a lot of poses standing on the feet, on the legs. Now let them relax a bit. Take the weight off your feet. Couple more breaths. You can let the feet still move. You can still shake the legs. And then we'll go into a happy baby pose from here. So we'll start to bend the knees, open or rotate the hips open, and then see if you could reach hands to your feet. Now you might be holding the outside of the feet. You might hold the inside of the feet. And then allow the legs to open. And as you're holding your feet in this happy baby, you could give your feet, the soles of the feet, a gentle massage. So you could run your hands, your fingers along the soles of the feet and just find there might be a sore spot somewhere. Give your feet a little massage at the end of this standing practice. Maybe there's some rocking from side to side in the happy baby as well. You might also change how you hold your feet. Couple more breaths. And then with your next few breaths, or when you feel ready, when you're ready to finish that foot massage, we're going to release the legs, bend the knees, bring the feet down, and we're going to find Shavasana pose. Now you could lie down on your back, or if you'd rather come lie down on your belly, that's a very good option as well. Finding your resting pose. And I'm suggesting to have hands and arms below shoulder height, just to let them rest. You might also bring hands onto your belly if that feels better. And then notice your breath. Invite your awareness to your breath. Maybe give yourself a few slightly slower, deeper breaths. Exhaling through the mouth. Allowing yourself to let go of any tension there might be in your legs, around the hips. Release tension along your back. Soften your belly. Soften your shoulders, your arms. Release your neck. Soften your face. Give yourself a moment to rest, as we are slowly coming towards the end of our practice. And as you allow your body to rest in this Shavasana pose, let your mind rest in observing your breath. Noticing each breath in and noticing each breath out. Give yourself another 5 to 10 breaths in your resting pose. Or you might decide that today you want to extend this Shavasana pose. You can stay here as long as you want, as long as is needed today. Just notice how you feel now. And let yourself make that observation without any judgment. There's no right or wrong way to feel. After those 5 to 10 breaths, if you feel that you'd be ready to slowly come out of your Shavasana pose, you could start to bring some gentle movement to your hands and feet. Move your wrists, your ankles. Maybe rock your head from side to side. Open your eyes if you had your eyes closed. And if you want, one more time, lengthen arms overhead, reach hands away from the feet. And then from your resting pose, you could roll down onto one side and slowly bring yourself up into a seat, into your own final seat. And if it's a part of your practice, you bring palms together in front of the chest. And as always, at the end of the practice, most importantly, thank yourself for taking some time for your practice today. Thank yourself for moving, breathing, checking in with yourself. And I thank you very much for joining in, for sharing this practice. And I hope you enjoyed it. Namaste. Thank you.